Hi everyone, it's Jay from Mitosu Crafts, and we're an independent Stampin' Up demonstrators based in the UK. Thanks for joining me today, where I'm video hopping with the Creating Kindness design team. And this month's theme is landscape, and I'll be using the Free as a Bird stamp set, which is new from the 2019 to 2020 annual catalog from Stampin' Up. So first, we are going to work on the Whisper White, and we are going to be using the sponge sprayers as well. You can create a mask using any copy paper, and you can just normally just stir it, but if you find that your paper doesn't tear nicely, you could always also use your aqua painter, and if you just make sure that there's water in there and just draw up a couple of valleys and mountains and double that up, and then that just wets the paper, and you should be able to create cleaner edges. There we go. And you can use that one and that one as well. So with the sponge sprayers, we'll be inking up with Pacific Point and Flirty Flamingo. So we'll start off with the lighter of the two, which is Flirty Flamingo. And when you're spraying, just make sure that you put your paper, whatever is easier for you, to apply the ink. So I'm actually gonna have the card base as a portrait, but I'll be moving my card layer however it is easier for me. So when you're applying the ink to the brayer, just make sure that you roll your sponge sprayer all around across the ink pad to make sure that the ink transfers onto the sponge sprayer all over. And always work off the page and then into the page. So you could always add more, but you can't take away. So you could just create back and forth, applying the ink, and then in time that will build up the ink on the paper. So I'm just gonna try and just do this really quickly. So I tend to work from making sure that I'm going off the page and back into the page. This way you know that the ink won't stop and you won't create a line in the middle of your paper. Just make that a little bit darker, and then we can move on to the Pacific Point. So I am going over slightly further than I need to be, but I just want that to have the both ink combined in the middle of the paper. Also, when you're pressing onto, don't press too hard, because what will happen is if you press too hard either on the ink pad, is you will scuff you will damage your ink pad, as well as when you will damage your paper as well, because that will hit it. So apply a gentle pressure and then just roll your sponge sprayer. So that's done, and then I'll turn that around with the Pacific Point. So again, roll your sponge on top of the ink pad. I'm just doing it lightly, but I'm taking it off and then going back in. Okay, and we'll do the same. So off the page and into the paper. You can use the stamping sponges, but with that you tend to need to work on a circular motion, and I thought the sponge sprayer will just apply the ink much more faster than the sponge sprayer, but you can achieve the same result. It feels like I have something underneath. We'll see, we'll see. It looks alright so far. So you can work the ink onto the paper as much as you want and create, if you concentrate on the bottom, it'll create a darker edges there. So what I'll do is I'll just change up my direction. And then that should be done, hopefully. So that is my sponge background. Now I'll move on to the splattering. I actually want to splatter white on the sky, just for like some interest. So I've got my Whisper White. You don't actually need that. You need the craft ink refill, but I'm just using that as a tray. So drop a couple of those. You could also use the chalk marker, which is this one, but with this one you're gonna have to obviously apply each dot separately. So I thought, I haven't tried this yet, so we'll see how it works. And again with the aqua painter, just add a bit of water in there. The craft ink refill is actually thicker because it's pigment ink, thicker than your normal dye ink refill. So you might need to add a slightly more water in there, and then just either use your finger or a pen and just tap it against that. We'll see if that dries okay. I don't know if you can actually see, there's some splatter there, and because it reacts with the dye ink onto the paper, sometimes you can lift that off as well. And then what you're left with is a couple of white dots, splatter effect even. So I'm gonna add just a bit more. So you can see how thick that is. So if you haven't guessed yet, I'm actually going to make some hills and with the copy paper, and I'm gonna be doing that with sponging. So I'm just gonna pat that dry. You can normally wait until it's dry or use the heat gun if you have one, but I'm just gonna pat it dry for now. So what I'll do is I will actually stamp my bird first where I would like it to be, quite up there, and I'm gonna be stamping that in smoky slate, just because I don't want the harsh black lines of the memento, because I will be coloring that in. So we'll just put 3 birds because that's gonna be way too much. Stamp that in. So it just gives you a nice outline. Okay, and then I'll come in with my hills. So what you could do is, so that's that one. If you want, you can check how far up you want to go with. if you wanted more pink, obviously go lower, like so, or you can even have it up or that way. What would be nice? That way. Okay, so I'm just gonna go lower like that, and I'm using a Dober this time with Night of Navy. So this one is quite juicy. I've just recently re-inked that, so just make sure you hold that down nicely, and then again off the page, but this one shouldn't really matter too much unless you've splattered it. That's fine. If you just go over it, over the splattered areas, it should make it even darker. There you go. So what I'll do is, so I'm starting off, but if you want a really dark outline, you can always start right on the edge. And as I said earlier, you could just add more as well. Okay, that looks all right. And just slightly go down a bit more actually. There you go, and when you take that off, you should have a really nice line there, and then you can either turn it over or just move your mask, I guess, like sideways and up and down or downwards, to then create a different outline. And you can use the same, as long as you slightly move it, it shouldn't matter. There you go. And then I'll do another one right at the bottom, a really tiny one, and make it really dark. There you go. If you do think that that's a bit too bright, you can just go back onto it, and maybe this time make it slightly, if you're unsure that you're actually right on top on the line, just go slightly lower and then start off the page, and then without re-inking, just drag the ink so then it looks like it's misty without being too dark. There you go. And then that one should be alright actually. I'll just drag it a little bit more. Okay, take your time when you are doing this. I'm just trying to hurry up so as to not keep you for long, so you can continue along the hop with the rest of the Creating Kindness. I believe it is our 2nd year anniversary. I saw Marcy's post. Marcy shared a post last week, or this week, beginning of the week, and it's been 2 years. I can't believe it. It's gone so quick. And that is that. And now I am just going to use the Stampin' Blend marker to actually color that in, well, blacken it out, and just use the outline. And because I just want the silhouette of the bird, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try and do that. I'll sit down so I can have a look closer. I'll see if I can zoom in. There we go. I'll try and be quick, but I did try this last night. Oh, I can't get any closer with my head because of the tripod. So if I do go over, it doesn't matter because hopefully you won't be able to see the line. Yes, I did try a prototype last night and I used Memento on it. And after I finished, you could still see the black outline from the Memento, which I didn't mind, but some people might. Obviously, if you can't see the outline of the smoky slate, try basic gray or gray granite, just because I think the dye-based ink gets hidden better than the tuxedo black. Actually, it was nice with the black Memento because I didn't have to color their legs, so I'm gonna have to do that with this one. So normally with this type of whatchamacallit, scene, I tend to add either a moon or a sun, but I thought it was just nice to have kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's a sunset without the sun. Okay, right, I'm just gonna see. Can you see? No, you can't. There. Okay, and then just the birds. I'm concentrating, although I can go over the lines. I don't want to. I want to keep within the lines, but I can't get right over it to see. So I'll just touch that up if I do need to, before I take pictures for the book haul. So the Free as a Bird stamp set, I'm only using one image from the set, and it comes with 12 stamps, red rubber stamps, and it's cling mount, and it's just released. What's the date would be for Thursday? Well, you can purchase it from our online shop from the 4th of June. So whatever is now, I'm sure it is way over 4th. Monday is the 3rd, right? Yeah, so 2 days ago. And Barry and I are off on our holiday for his birthday. There you go. So when this video goes live, we will be somewhere in Norway. I'm lifting it up so you can see, and I can slightly see. If I go like that, it helps me see, and then you can see. There you go. I think, oh no, I think I went the wrong way. Oh well, it's fine. It doesn't matter. And there's another thing there. That looks like a flower, right? There you go. And then the legs, I'll just do 1, 3. It doesn't matter. I keep telling myself 1, 2, right? that's got 2 legs. That's got 1 and 2. There you go. And that is pretty much it. I'm just gonna mount that. Oh, I need sentiment. I'm just gonna do a thank you. We always need thank you cards. Thanks to our customers and supporters watching our Facebook Live. So we tend to do, excuse me, Facebook Lives on a Sunday on our Facebook page. I'll just zoom out. There you go. And this one I'm gonna use Memento. And I was gonna die cut the sentiment, but I won't. I'm just gonna fussy cut it. No, I'm just gonna snip it, shall I say. Yeah. Yes, as the bird banter. Bird banter. Free as a bird, not bird banter. What am I saying? Free as a bird. Free as a bird. Sorry if I keep saying bird banter. That's last year's. Free as a bird comes as a bundle with the with a nested die. I did have the snips. Bear with. I don't know where I put it. So I am thinking of putting that just there. So I'm just gonna cut that probably there. I'm gonna try and cut that straight. And follow the T. Is that straight? Yeah. No, oh no, I've just gone wonky. That is wonky, isn't it? Does it matter? Right, I'm gonna have a look. I'm gonna mount it on Balmy Blue. Balmy Blue, make sure that it's that way. And also put a black mat underneath. Did I just cut that the wrong way, the wrong size? Okay, I'm gonna pause you and cut the proper correct size. Won't be sec. Right, so what I ended up doing was actually cutting the layer smaller, just because if I went over you can't really see a border of the Balmy Blue, and that's just a waste of cardstock, I thought. So just gonna quickly put that on. I'm not even gonna put any ribbon on it or anything. I'm just gonna mount that on. Do it that way. And then mount that on. Okay. And then that is wonky, isn't it? Right, just gonna try again. Ooh, that's so close. And I'm just gonna mount that with dimensional. Bear with. And what I do is, oh, where did it go? It left me. There we go. So just add a couple of dimensionals underneath, and there you have it. Well, I think it was quick. I don't know how long I've been bubbling on, but that is that. I will just turn this around so you can see a better without the mess. There you go. So as I said earlier, you can use your chalk marker to add even brighter stars, I guess, and it does. It is quite therapeutic just doing this. I've been doing a little bit of coloring recently, and I've been using the chalk marker quite a bit. Hopefully, I keep saying hopefully you've seen one by now with a challenge design team that I'm at with even. Anyway, this is my card. Thank you very much for joining me today. As I said, this is the bird free as a bird stamp set from the 2019 to 2020 annual catalog by Stampin' Up. And hope that you enjoyed that video and a quick tutorial with how to create a nice landscape for the Creating Kindness Design Team Video Hub. Click on the links below for details of the products that I've used today, which you can purchase from our online shop. Also, the link to the next video will be down there as well. Thanks again for joining me. Until next time, bye!